So the assignment prep, I do like this every time. I'm also the lead lecturer, so we'll also get together again for the assignment. But for me to get the assignment going early is absolutely essential. I honestly think the sooner we start this, the less the pressure later and the more time we get to get ready for the exam. So I will upload iStasks. I have to set them still. I honestly, this one came a little bit late to me this semester, but that's absolutely fine. So if we look at my process of finding it, if I'm on the textbook there, okay, it's taking a moment to open. My apologies. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So for my approach is very simple. I go Mintzberg, and okay, very good. Now it's not picking it up. Oh my golly gosh. Okay. So we are looking at manager and the management's job. I'm a little bit surprised that Mintzberg isn't picking up, but you should find it there. Right, so you're looking at, there it is. Okay, I don't know why I didn't pick it up. So essentially what you're looking at there is also what I would have put into the memo for this. So the essence of doing well in terms of this, you're looking at page 12 and 13. My apologies. Oh gosh, okay, sorry, I have a student I'm talking to me. I'll ignore that. Crying out loud. Okay, so can I just say, sorry about that, guys. All right, so it is pages 12 and 13. I think you know this incredibly well. You did it for the first time. I might have even been in first year BMNG. You definitely did this in BMNG 6222, and it really is an extension of what you had done previously. So Mintzberg's theory is that you can summarize a manager's job into a series of roles, and these roles essentially will distinguish a manager from people who carry out the work. And we know that there is this fluidity nowadays in terms of team leadership that changes, and so these roles are quite dated, and a lot of organizations essentially now have these roles performed by people who are at lower levels in the organization. So in terms of the interpersonal roles, yeah, so if we look at that, so your figurehead person, obviously the person that would be the face of the organization at events and publicity events, etc. The leader is about motivation and creating an environment within which people can excel. And the liaison, I think it really is about engaging and interacting and building a bridge between different project groups and making sure that everyone is working off the same page. Information role is really about the insanity that is the environment right now, and the focus very much on scanning the environment, making sure that we're aware of changes, making sure that we have a sense of what to anticipate. Having said that, it's going to really become impossible going forward to see too far into the future because there are so many uncertainties. But it is about monitoring and keeping the organization aligned through information. And information is often considered the lifeblood of an organization. And then the disseminator, someone who shares information, so you get the information in, and then obviously you will share that information so that everyone is actually on the same page. And then obviously the spokesperson shares plans, is again this kind of person that gets everyone on board. And then the decision role, I think innovation is one of the core elements of a successful organization. So this is the person that, again, creates that environment for people to be innovative. For example, Google has their 20% rule, where in Google, you get 20% of your life to make your own magic and create your own products. My students who have been with me before will know this, but out of that 20%, 69% of all their new innovations, products, and launches actually happen. And then disturbance handler, yeah, I think the reality in terms of going forward is because the world has become so integrated and so diverse that somebody needs to manage conflict, allocating resources, very clear in terms of budgets, and then the negotiator. It really is that person that's the interface between the organization and the trade union and obviously suppliers. I don't know if anyone saw what happened in Durban today. Any comment on that? What do you think the municipality should do? Has anyone? Yeah, Brett, don't worry about your hand, boy, or just talk.
Yeah, so we experienced a strike from DSW, which is Durban South Waste, and it was shocking,
Okay.
the protest action, that took place in and around Durban. They actually went as far as sabotaging now the water meters in Pinetown. So we're at the point where we don't even have water in our area.
Oh
And
my word.
yeah, there's even electrical issues. So a lot of places in and around Durban are experiencing, lack of electricity. So it's been rough.
Is anyone else in the Durban area? Because I was lecturing at Westville this afternoon, but I
Oh,
didn't
nice.
travel as far as Durban. Yeah. Anyone else in the Durban area? Yeah. Oh, Dylan, you were in the middle of it. Oh my word, man. Oh my word. Sure. And what happened? Yeah. Oh my gosh, so yeah. Well, I'm glad you didn't experience it. How did you get out, Dill? Dylan, how did you get out? Okay, Dylan possibly will type. So guys, in terms of the first one, so the step up from last year in terms of these assignments is essentially that you need to integrate better. I think one of the things that I don't want to see, and I'm sorry for Courtney and Em who've been in class with me previously, but I don't like the notion of one source and then the discussion. I like the idea of multiple sources. I think we need to start critically looking at sources, and then obviously it is the way that we integrate it and link it to the case study. You'll see that the case studies I give are very, very comprehensive. And I think the challenge in terms of this one, now that I recall the case study, is when it comes to remote work and work where you don't go into the office every day, managers have a new set of roles or a new interpretation around old roles. And that's the kind of discussion that we're looking at. Please remember, have a good look at this case study, and then obviously give me the theory, give me the foundation in terms of theory, and then also give me the discussion in terms of how this lives and makes the theory live. So it is integrating application with the theory. And remember, I don't allow things like Indeed, I don't allow things like mind tools. I expect, and I only expect, that you will use peer-reviewed articles. Guys, can I also just say the other thing that I'm going to force you to do, and it is a little bit of a, I don't want to say, let's just say I'm a bully, because it's what I am when it comes to certain things. Please do me a favor, I don't accept manual referencing. You guys are now at a point in your life where you shouldn't manually reference. Em and Courts, guys, please do yourselves a favor. Move away from Mendeley. This is fantastic to use. Zotero, it is an electronic referencing thing, but it has a strong AI component. I suggest that you download Zotero. I will arrange the librarian to do training. Otherwise, I'll show you guys very quickly. But it is a significant step up from Mendeley. It's a leap up from people who use Word as their referencing technique. Can I just see what referencing tools you guys use? Zotero, do yourself a favor. You don't input anything. If you're working on a database, for example, like EBSCOhost, it imports everything for you. It's a electronic referencing tool. So honestly, you cannot go wrong with referencing. Yeah, Mendeley is honestly archaic compared to Zotero. So even if you use Mendeley, do yourself a favor, guys. It's time to transition. I was a big Mendeley fan, but we now are transitioning to Zotero. You will be massively, massively surprised. I have asked the head of management studies, I don't know what these people's titles are, to actually arrange training for you guys in this. My courses, I expect you to use electronic referencing. Okay. Yeah, Mandy, I know Mendeley, but I promise you, if you can do Mendeley, you can do Zotero, and it is 100% more efficient than Mendeley. It really is an impressive. It's a very, very impressive tool. Okay. So in terms of your referencing, remember, I expect electronic referencing. I will arrange for you guys to have training on that. If not, I'll show you how to use it. Okay. So that is, yeah, the first question. Yeah, no, I don't work for Takealot. Yeah, oh my word. Yeah, no, I should stop paying. I'm being a yeah, no, let me continue with my class. Yeah, love Takealot. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Were my porn sites up on there when I opened it? I hope not. I'm kidding. Yeah. Yeah, luckily not, because it would have been something else I would have had to edit. Okay, guys, the second one is really looking at the challenges faced by management. Again, it's this remote work scenario. I had an honest student from last year the year before, my apologies, who did the marketing for several organizations in the UK. And what had happened with this, yeah, one day only, my gosh, you can imagine Russian brides can be ordered from there now. But I had a student who lived in South Africa and did the marketing and the PR for people in the UK. And when the Queen died, my gosh, she had a lot of work to do. But she has never met the people she worked for and worked with. She has never ever had to go into the office, and they rely on her heavily to do a heck of a lot of work. And it's a new way of trying to manage people, because the traditional managing by wandering around doesn't happen. Okay, so challenges faced by management. So we're going back to the textbook again. Sorry, guys, can I just put my wife's phone alarm off? My apologies for that. It's 8 o'clock, so she's going to tell me to take the cyanide now. So in terms of the management challenges, so we'll go down a bit. Oh my word, where is that? I wonder if it's going to be quicker than when I'll find it. Um, guys, please just check in terms of Learning Unit 1, what MOs are we looking at? I mean, page in terms of what I've given already. Okay, so this is not great in terms of this. Let me have a glance at that question again. Okay, it's not there, is it? I'm not sure why that is taking so incredibly long to find its spot. Just hold a second, my apologies. Is it chapter 8? Oh, Georgia, you are such a star. Thank you. I'm actually literally opening the module outline right now. I did this a long time ago. Truthfully, a hell of a long time ago. Okay, so we're looking at chapter 8. Thanks, Georgia, you are again just a rock star. Chapter 8. Yeah, it might be in a different chapter here. That's what I'm worried about. Hold on a second. Where is this? It's 1, 2, and 3. Sorry, Georgia, just give me some chapter 8, Learning Unit 2. Is that in the electronic version as well? What is chapter 8 called? Georgia, in the textbook, what is it called?
I actually don't have my textbook yet, so I'm using yours, so I wouldn't know.
Oh gosh, so chapter 8 again.
It looks like chapter 9 on your electronic one.
Is it chapter 9? Yeah, the decision making is chapter 9. I know that. Yeah. Oh my word. Okay, well, we've got chapter 9, so we'll do that. Thank you very much, Mark. Right, let's have a glance at this very quickly. The rational decision making process. Yeah, so where is that? Group team behavioral. There it is. So you're looking at page, thanks, Georgia and Mark. You're looking at page 244, 245, 6, and 7, and yeah, so it's up to there. So you look at, 245 to 47, 244 to 247. Have a glance at that. I'm going to go through it fairly quickly. I'm going to use this particular bit here because it's just easier for me to use. So in terms of the question itself, if we glance at this very rapidly, I think the decisions that are taken in an organization are often haphazard and don't really have a proper process to follow. So what happens in terms of that is that it often is just gut feel, and yeah, it's like throwing food against the ceiling and hoping one bit would stick. So the simple truth is no organization ever is really properly taking decisions. It's often potluck and yeah, let's get it out of the way. So in terms of rational decision making, I'm going to go through it fairly quickly. You would have seen this before, I think in BMG 6222. So in terms of the first one, they talk about recognizing and defining the decision situation. For me, it really is the issue that we're trying to deal with. So the focus in terms of that all the time is what is the deficiency, where is the gap, what is the problem that we have to counter. For me, what is essential there is that the first thing you do when you're at that point is that you have to separate the cause from symptoms. So let me just open Paint. I'm not very good at using the other bits and pieces here. Paint, yeah. So in terms of the first bit, I think the truth is that what is essential at this stage is that you separate cause from symptoms. And the cause is the actual thing that you'll base your decision on. The symptoms are essentially the obvious elements related to that particular cause. So if you have, and it's a silly example and my apologies, if you have a runny nose, if you have a temperature, if you have a cough, if you have eyes that are a little bit runny and blurry, and whatever else symptoms there are. If a doctor had to give you medicines for each of those elements, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different elements. So what doctors do is they isolate the cause from the symptoms and they focus the cure on the cause. Because if you focus on the symptoms, the truth is you'll never address the cause, and it will be a repetition in terms of the illness. So the first bit for me always, and if we go, where is that, the rational decision making? Yeah, it really is about isolating the cause from the symptoms. It's taking a step back and making sure that you know what you're taking your decision on. So the second phase is identifying alternatives. And so in terms of COVID, what were the alternatives that organizations were facing at that point during lockdown from a worker perspective? They could send everyone on unpaid leave. What other alternatives are there? Send people on unpaid leave. Because the reality is there was a lockdown, there was a range of other things. And yeah, the fact that organizations were able to adjust to remote working as an alternative to locking people down and not paying people, and also keeping production and your service delivery going was a wonderful alternative. Now, I can't think of any alternatives. You could have put people on short time. I don't know what it is. Some of you might have been studying during this time. I don't know, 2024. Yeah, you guys would have been in your first year, I would imagine. In terms of the alternatives, the more alternatives you have, the better the potential outcome and the better the solution will be. In terms of evaluating the alternatives, the thinking around evaluating alternatives is that you want to ultimately have a set of criteria that you would use to judge those alternatives against. It could summarize into that you want a criterion that will give you maximum goal achievement with minimum cost. In terms of COVID, I think that was one of the key considerations, because the goal is to keep the business going, is to realize our organizational vision. And what is the best alternative? You can't bring people in. And yes, it was remote working. Retrenchment, absolutely, Mandy. I didn't even think of retrenchment as an alternative. So you have a range of alternatives. You find criteria, you measure those alternatives against that, and you then select the best alternative. One of the things that managers face nowadays in terms of where the world is with technology, with advances, etc., is that you are often going to be faced with right versus right versus right alternatives. So it's almost writing a multiple choice exam and someone says at the top, choose the most correct answer. So one of the modern issues that managers have to deal with is that so many options will be viable that it becomes very, very difficult to actually arrive at the best solution, because there are, in terms of modern technologies, right versus right options. The rights and wrongs are not as clear-cut as they used to be. In terms of remote working, I think it was pretty clear-cut, but I think the modern world with technology has changed significantly. And then you give life to that decision, you implement the decision, so you make the resources available, you make the budgets available, you adjust your operating procedures, and you get things done. And then it's in, I'm going to just use the term auditing function, where you go and check that this has actually happened and you've made the difference that you had intended to make. So that question again, it's about integrating that process into your case study. Yeah, it is a step up from last year, guys. It definitely is a step up. We will chat about these assignments all the time. Any questions in terms of this decision-taking process? Is everyone okay with that? I know that I'm going through it fairly quickly, but I think you should be okay with that. Okay, I don't know where the management challenges are. I know I took it out of this textbook. Oh, then you redo it. I think one of the, and that's a hell of a good question, Chelsea. What happens if a decision doesn't work out? You go back and you relook and you find an alternate. One of the dangers that organizations face is that they take a decision, they buy into this decision, they believe that it's the future, and then when it doesn't work, they throw more money and resources at it. And sometimes these decisions are babies of managers, and they think that they're the best thing since air and tires. And they then obviously think that, no, we're going to make this work, we're going to make this work, and it becomes good money after bad. So you have to then review and look at other decisions. But it is a hell of a good question, because the audit thing will look at the criteria that you had initially set, and you should be hard and honest with yourself. Who has worked in organizations where good money has been thrown after bad? Does anyone have examples for us? Any idea, any examples of that? Yeah, anyone work in organizations where decisions were going wrong and people thought by throwing additional resources at it, by throwing extra money at it, they could make it work, and it becomes good money after bad? Yeah, I often see it in terms of people who buy new software and the software doesn't work. So they pour extra money. They pour extra money at the software in the hope that it will work. And yeah, I'm being recorded, so I can't tell you how that is the case with that Stacy and Sis and whatever other variation there is. It, to me, is good money after bad. We face the same issues, and it gets worse, and we think, well, just gooi nog geld soon to. Oh gosh, yeah, I forgot I was being recorded, but I would have said it if I wasn't being recorded, guys. So don't worry about it. Yeah, how long do you last this semester? Well, 2 days. Guys, I honest to goodness don't know what the heck I did with the management challenges. I'm quite frustrated at myself now, because I normally know where these. That's the issue, Georgia. They're addressing the symptom, and the cause is Anastasia, scaredy cat. Where do you work, Anastasia? I still don't care what I say, though. That's the worry. Please don't tell me you like the person in charge of Stacy, because then I'm in groot trouble.
I work with it every day, though. I work at the NMB campus as a CRO, so I'm exposed to
Oh
it all
my
the time.
Well, you're going to age very rapidly. So. Oh no, Blessing is also a varsity, an IIE VC person. Oh gosh, guys, yeah, okay. So I'm going to become a diplomatic all of a sudden. Now I'm not. I wish I could tell you that I will become diplomatic, guys. It's not going to change, unfortunately. Where the heck are the challenges? I'm now irritating myself with this. Shucks. Yeah. I thought it was under the new workplace because it made sense in terms of this. Okay. There it is, guys. Yeah, your lecturer is an idiot. Don't worry, I call myself an idiot all the time. The truth is, guys, that it's here. It's page 19. Somewhere in here, we will see. So it is the new workplace. I honestly thought when I did this assignment that this actually fit really well with the case study. So you're looking at pages 20 and 21. And so you'll see here in terms of the challenges, management diversity. Yeah, so if I look at this group and I look at surnames, I think this is quite a diverse group of people. Anyone on here that is not living in South Africa? Because I actually have students from the UAE attending as well. Are you all in South Africa, obviously? But yeah, in terms of first language, I'm Afrikaans, but my wife and my family speak English. So, you know, we don't all have the same language at home, but there are significant differences. And you now put into the mix the fact that you will be working with people from overseas, from different cultures whose value systems are different. My oldest son is in Indonesia at the moment. Indonesia, sorry, I sound like a Dutchman when I say Indonesia. Indonesia at the moment, and yeah, the values that he's there for 2 weeks, but the values that those workers have is yeah, country first, business second. So country, business, and then family and God. And it's quite a strange order of priority where all of us would either put God or family first. But there, it's about the company, it's about the country. In my list of values, family comes first, and then whatever else. But it's quite interesting just in terms of diversity of values. How do you blend and gel together those different people? The second one is, and this is a unique, yeah, US issue. I don't know whether it is our issue as well, but it is women in the workplace, and yeah, just cultures that have to change and elements of organizations that have to change, because women still will go have children. So you have to find creches, you have to find childcare options in terms of that. And yeah, what we expect from women managers or female managers are very different to what we expect from male managers. Guys, we talk about the ethnic composition. I mean, yeah, we're fairly diverse on this group. And then you can see some of the others there, guys. So, yeah, just remember this is an American textbook. So their definitions in terms of transformation would be where the minority is at a disadvantage. Obviously, in South Africa, it is the majority that is at disadvantage. And then, yeah, new workforce and the idea of Gen Zs, yeah, coming into the workforce. I think we might have a couple of Gen Zs here. Is that true? Anyone Generation Z born after 2000? Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't know if I should share this, but oh my word, Chelsea, you're a baby. Oh, 23, Gaveshni, Krizan, oh my word. I'm assuming that your parents are here with you, because this has a child. It's got an R rating, my classes. Yeah, but for the first time, this year and I haven't done it here, and yeah, we've started classes by asking what people's preferred pronouns were. Now, I've never had to do that. Sorry, Vashni. And yeah, so I will refer to you guys as guys. Everyone to me is guys, male and female. But yeah, it's a new group of individuals, and if you want to see the uniqueness, and I don't think it's everyone, but if you want to see the uniqueness of Gen Z, watch that bit on DSTV about Gen Z. And one of the guys on the, well, one of the, I'm so bad at this, guys. One of the people on there identified as Fae, F-A-E. So his pronoun was that, because I think Fae is an ancient term for fairy. And it's, for me, it's a real transition. It's interesting in terms of bringing Gen Z into the work environment. Oh, absolutely. But just remember, Charles, we all were there at some point. But I think, generations have changed and generations have become narrower. But it is significantly different. It is significantly different. No, but you are absolutely right. And it's tough as a young person in a workplace. And yeah, that's part, I suppose, of getting your scars and learning and growing up and making your way through your career. Charles, what do you do? Now, oh gosh, yeah, no one will listen to you because you haven't earned your scars yet, and that's I do a bit of consulting as well, but I'm as old as the mountains, and people are somehow impressed by my stupid title, which is so ridiculous. But oh no, it'll be tough, Chelsea. It will be very tough. Okay, guys, and then also the idea of we now compete for knowledge workers, and the simple truth is knowledge workers are very, very powerful. They realize that the bits and pieces, oh my word, no, Chelsea, yesterday, no, that is bloody difficult. I wish you best of luck. But that's also very impressive for a young person to be doing that. Can I just say that? You should be bloody impressed with yourself. Yeah, guys, and then it is really about this idea of keeping your knowledge workers. Knowledge workers are incredibly valuable, and we now refer to not employees, but rather talent. And keeping hold of your talent is bloody difficult. So managers are now faced with this difficult challenge, making sure that they hang on to the brain. Those are the assignment, but question at this stage? Any questions? Any headaches at this point? My suggestion is I would start and later on these assignments. I like the idea of pacing out. I just see what modules you are doing at this stage. Who is doing there? People project management at this stage? Who is elected project manager? as their elective? Gosh, no one. Is doing HR as their elective?